Hello everyone, Mackenzie here, and I am finally doing the anticipated live. If it gets a little bit loud, it's because we ended up stopping at a restaurant. We did a little interview with somebody on suicide prevention awareness and some of the drug activists information that she has too. So we'll be posting that sometime today yet. And so we stopped at a restaurant, so if you hear any noise, that's why. So today, as I said, I'm just going to be doing a little bit of information telling for you guys. So if you guys want to just sit down, have some popcorn, and maybe grab a soda or a drink or something. Crap, hold on. There we go. If you want to grab a drink or a coffee or something and just sit, maybe whatever tea, whatever you drink, and just settle down. And then if you guys have any questions throughout the video, you could always leave it in the comments and say I'm actually programming this on Prism, so I'm going on YouTube and Facebook. So if I have any comments on Facebook or YouTube, you guys can do that as well. Hi Billy, how are you? I haven't seen you in forever. We are here doing this live then, and hopefully we get more viewers. Our mission is to be a convoy of information about everything that's going on, but we are not affiliated with any of the organizations that are out there. We are just us. We are here for inspiration and awareness. And then with everything we post, you guys can all decide, fact or fiction, if you would agree or disagree with what we have to say. And you could always message us about it or also leave comments on any of the posts we share. Per usual, the videos are going to be, I try to cut them shorter, but with this live and it being the first live, I'm going to actually do it a little bit longer just so that I can get to know everybody and we can talk a little bit and see what all is happening. And if people just want to say hi or pop in and just say a little something so I know you guys are there. So far, I just have one viewer, but it'll be okay. We'll get more people. So if everybody's just relaxed and sitting around and getting ready, hey, there's 2 people now, which is probably Mr. Dylan. Do I want to go ahead and start telling a little bit about us, or should I try to just speak a little bit more? I don't necessarily want to There we go. I don't necessarily want to get started because then I might have to repeat myself, but there's also where people can come back and rewatch it, so maybe I'll just go ahead and start. A little bit about the Truth Seekers. We came up with that name, which I had mentioned in a couple videos. We had made up that name so that or to go along with the fact that we just wanted some truth. I mean, there's so much going on out there that we have been lied to about, that we have not really got to know the truth. Hey, Steph! We just wanted to know about everything that's going on, really. And we could not get as much information as we wanted. So we started doing our research. We had looked up a few things, and we had found out about a couple of the live streamers because of what we were going through. Which about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, we had went to Topeka, Kansas, just as like a trip to go to. And we had went to the Capitol building there, and we just wanted some information, just because when we go places, we like to get flyers, we like to get information for where we're at. Maybe even get some information on the sightseeings of the area. And they were going through some sort of change to the building. I don't know if they were updating, or I can't remember what they were doing. But they had shut it down for the COVID lockdown stuff, but they said the next week they were going to open back up. But we had told them, we're not going to be here for another week. We're only going to be here for the rest of the day. So we had just said, all we want is flyers. We just want to know what's going on in the area. That's all we want. We don't want to be any bother or anything. We just wanted to know what was going on in the area. So the guy behind the desk heard us talking to these guys in the building and said, hey, what do the ladies want? What do they need? What's going on? And they said, well, they just wanted, we had told them, we just want information. We want to know what's happening in the area, what's fun to do. So he said, send them back. So we went back and we got a couple flyers and information. And then he proceeds to tell us that after we had said we won't be in town very long, we just wanted to see get a few flyers. He said, well, while you're here, might as well check the place out. So we went through and we got to see the entire place, and we got to look around, see through the museum area they had, and it was a pretty cool thing. And as we're going through, we got to see all the legislator houses, all the judiciary branch houses, and different things like that. We had came across the helper of the House of Representative, or the Speaker of the House, and he helps with all of his things he needs, paperwork and different things like that. And while he was in there, he's like, hey, what are you guys doing? And at first we were like, oh gosh, we went on the wrong side of the rope, we got in trouble, we did something wrong. And he could tell that we were a little nervous about it, and he's just like, it's okay, come on in, I was just wanting to greet you guys, say hello. And he asked where we were from, and we kind of talked to him a little bit about what we were doing, and that we were just in the area visiting. And he had said that he would give us a tour. So he gave us a tour of the entire building, and it was so cool because we got to see and learn things that we didn't really know about. For instance, did you know that your Capitol actually does not care if you come? They want you actually to be there. They want you to ask questions. They want you to come in. I didn't know that until he told me that. He told us that do not hesitate to go to your Capitol building. They want you there. They want to know what your information is. They want to know what insight you have, what changes you want to make, what changes that you feel strongly about. And they're okay with that. They want you there. But so many people feel intimidated, and they feel like we can't go there. That's only for representatives. That's only for the secretaries. It's only for all these people, but it's not. They want the people's opinions as well. So when he told us that, it was so cool to find out. They also have events. I don't know if anywhere else does, but where we were at the Kansas Capitol, he said that they actually have these meetings for children where they can help with all the tasks. They can bring papers up to the Senate. They can pass out information, and they're able to be a part of it so that they can learn and experience that interaction. So it's a pretty cool experience, and for us to be able to learn about that stuff, it was really cool. Then the part that got us, and the one thing that we will always remember, was he had told us that if the information I just said about how if we want to go to our capital, he said, you go to your state capital, you tell them, you come in and say, I want to know what's going on, I want to see how you run things, and I want to come on out and give some information on what I believe in or what we believe in and what things we don't like and what we do like. So he then proceeded to tell us that if we ever get told, like, leave pretty much, he said we could call him up and get any information. So that's what we did. We took his information and we said, alrighty, thank you for the tour, thank you for being a part of this, and thank you for helping us and being an awesome person. And we even got some pictures of me with him and in the Senate chair and in the House chamber chair. We got all kinds of cool pictures. So we will definitely be posting a lot of those, so keep an eye out on the page. We'll be having some pictures of the Topeka, Kansas trip, and you'll even get to see the guy that we met and we talked with, and it was a pretty fun experience, and it was really cool. But then little did we know, all this time later, we would be curious and we would be looking into and asking, what is going on? Why is everything the way it is? Thank you. I actually won it. So the shirt, I won it in a giveaway. So, while we were out there and in Topeka, little did we know this whole year later, if I can speak, this whole year later, we would be a part of this. I mean, one day we were sitting there and we were hearing about all this crazy stuff going on, and we were hearing about how we might not be getting products, we might not be able to get all these items that we would need for our businesses, for our homes, and we were like, we were freaked out. We were terrified because we're just like, what if we can't get the items we need? What if we can't get our products? We can't get our food. We can't get our utilities or whatever we need. So we had started watching videos, and we looked up on YouTube, and we came across Sasnak, and he was kind of filming a little bit throughout the convoys, and he did a little bit of information and gave everybody an insight to what was going on without everybody being there. And it was a really cool experience just watching it on the TV, because I had never, we don't really usually look at people's lives or see what they're like. So when we were seeing the different lives he was doing and seeing what he had to offer, it was cool to be a part of it. It was like you were there even though you weren't. So as we watched him, we started getting into other live streamers. We had saw First Responder, and we had saw a little bit about Oreo Express and Trucker G and Mama G, and there was so much going on in all these live streamers that we were watching that we felt like we were there with all these people. And over time, we were like, you know what? We sat down and said, one day, we're going to Hagerstown. We're going to go to the Hagerstown Speedway. We're going to meet up with this convoy, and we are going to see what's going on, see it firsthand, what's happening and what's going on out there. So, because nobody else was saying anything about it other than the live streamers. That's all we had to go by. So we went, and it was a really cool experience. Everybody was so amazing. Everyone was so down to earth, and there wasn't one time that we felt like an outcast, or there was not one time that we felt like that we shouldn't be there. They were very accommodating. They had food, they had drinks, they had came out during the night, and they would ask if we needed a heater because it was really cold. It was around the winter time, so it was pretty cold out. And they asked if we needed a heater. And luckily we were prepared. We had all the blankets and all that, so we didn't need one. But it was so cool that they were trying to accommodate for everybody and just make sure everybody was safe and okay. So the one day I was at breakfast. Well, we were at breakfast, but it was just me at the time, and somebody had came up to me, and they were like, hey, can I sit here? So I had sat down and had them with me. Actually, I'll go back a second. There was somebody that we had met named Doug, and he had breakfast with us. So this next part gets really funny because it's just crazy how the world just turns around and it like completely reverses itself and brings you to where you need to be in life. So we had breakfast with this guy named Doug, and he left then, and he went back to his truck or wherever he was going. And so we're just sitting there, and then it got down to just me, and a couple guys came over and said, hey, like, do you mind if we sit here? And I was like, no big deal, yeah, that's fine, just take a seat. And one of the guys' names was Marty, and he had asked me, he said, hey, like, what are you doing here? He just kind of wanted to know a couple things, get to know me and stuff. And that's whenever it came out that we were only going to be here be there for like a day or two. So I had told him a little bit about that. Well, then he said, well, do you have a truck to drive in or ride in? And I said, no. We were just going to take the car, and it was going to be okay. And he said, well, would you be interested in riding in a truck? And I said, well, I have one other person with me, and I wouldn't want to do it by myself. And he was like, well, what if I said I could get both of you into one truck? I was like, that would be amazing. So we swapped information. I gave him my number. He gave me his number. And not even 10 minutes later, I get a call, and he's saying, we got you a driver, and you can ride in a truck on the Beltway. And we were so ecstatic. It was such a big deal. We were dancing and singing, and we were so excited. And we get over to the truck, and long behold, the truck driver is Doug, the one we met for breakfast. I mean, and it was so surreal because we were like, oh yeah, we know you. We just had breakfast with you. And it just corresponds with what I just said. Like, if you switch everything around, we were supposed to be there at that time. We were supposed to meet him so that when it came to the time when we did get to ride with him, we already knew him. So we already knew a little bit about him already because he had told us a little bit at breakfast. It was such a cool experience, and it's crazy how things happen. And we had went then to on this Beltway, and we had rode in this convoy, and it was a lot different than what everyone portrayed it as. It was not bad at all. There was so much good. We were just sitting in the truck, and we were videoing it, and we were singing, and we were so excited, and we got to hear a little bit of Doug's story, and we have a video on that too, because he told us a little bit about what he does, and a little bit about his family and about his life, and it was pretty cool because we were able to get to know a little bit more about what the trucker life is like. And so we ended up being on this truck ride, and we saw all the exits were blocked. And everyone kept saying, oh, these truckers are blocking the exits. This is what's going on. But it wasn't the truckers. It wasn't. Everyone thought it was, but it was not the truckers. It was actually the officers, but not in a bad way, but because they were told to. So because they were told to do something, and by law they had to block it. And so it made us look bad whenever we weren't the bad guys. We weren't trying to block anything. We were just driving the Beltway. And we weren't going too fast. We weren't going too slow. We were doing the speed that is legal. And it was so cool to be in that situation, right behind it, seeing what actually everybody is seeing and what people are doing. So after this, we had thought really hard about this event that we went to, the Beltway, going to Hagerstown, and everything we had learned, and we had decided, you know what, we want to be a part of this bigger. We want to be a convoy of information for people. We want to show everyone that how crazy everything really is. So that's when we made our first Facebook page. And yeah, you heard that right. I said first. we had our first Facebook page, and that one was actually called the Freedom Seekers. And we had named it the Freedom Seekers because we had tried to get Truth Seekers, but it just didn't work out that way. It wouldn't let us because it wasn't a real name, which obviously we knew it wasn't a real name. I mean, who would name their child that? I mean, actually, some people might. You never know. But but that page had reached so many people. It reached global. It got Australia, New Zealand. It reached Canada. It reached every single area that you can imagine. It reached. Thousands of people got hit by this page, and we were so excited because we were like, we are reaching people, we are doing something, we are making a difference. And the excitement got so much. It felt so good. And one day it got taken down. It was like nothing ever happened. We lost everything. We had lost the page. We had lost everything we had ever posted. All the people that were following us, we lost them all. And we tried to find them again, and it was kind of hard because it's like when you are trying to find something and you don't remember it exactly how it was, because we did have a lot of people we reached, and it was really hard to find those pages again. And so we were really distraught, but as we were feeling down, we had heard about the rally that was going on, the Ohio rally that was in Burbank. So we were like, you know what, we're not going to be Debbie Downers anymore. We're going to live life, and we're going to do this because that's what we started this for. Not so that we can sit on the ground and be down about it because of a page. So we went out, and we were like, we're going to go. So we went to Burbank, Ohio, and they had this amazing event. And it was so cool because there was so many people there. And we actually, this time, got to speak with some of those live streamers that we had met in Hagerstown. So we had got some really good advice on what to do about the Facebook page that got taken down and what we can do to make a difference. We had Oreo, which Oreo Express is amazing. If you guys want, go follow him. He is so cool. And same with Mama G and Trucker G. Their page is just Trucker G, but they were really amazing too. Mama G helped us so much with trying to help us get information out there, trying to tell us about what was going on with our Freedom page and what we can do to get that back, which we learned there was no way of getting that one back. But we also learned a lot about what we can do to make make a new page better. And that is where our new page, which is this one, came in. And we got our name we wanted, Truth Seekers. And I still live by that. It's like we are set out to find out all the information for you guys, so you guys know what is going on, just as much as we do. And any information you guys have, we might not know, or any information that we have, you guys might not know and you would want to know. So we can just go back and forth with information. It's like, hey, I heard about this going on. Did you hear about that? And it's really a good thing for both of us, both parties. Like I said in the video I did, I mean, it's like a two-way highway, coming back and forth. And it was such a cool experience to be able to make this new account. And yeah, we don't quite have as many people as we did, and there's not near as many people that are following us, but it also got us to sit back and reverse it and say, it's not about how many people we have. It's about reaching one person, and that one person can reach two people, and that two people can reach three people. And it's like a domino effect. It'll reach each person, and by then we've already reached as many people as we did. And that, in the end, that's all that matters. It's not about if we go global or if 25,000 people hear our story. If one person hears the story and they hear about what we're about, what we're doing, and we can help them, it makes a difference, a whole lot of difference. And it is so much bigger. And this all is so much bigger. And I would just say that we suggest you to just do your research. Do as much research as you can. Anything you're curious about, you look it up. Information is really not that hard to find if you really want to know it. So many people make it seem like it is so hard to find information, but it's not. All you do is put in, I want to know information about what is happening in the world. I want to know what is happening with the foods. I want to know what's happening with this. And you will find it. There's nothing hidden out there. They just make it seem like it's hidden, so the truth doesn't get out there. And we are so strong about this, and we so dearly want so many people to be able to reach by this, because it is so much bigger. All of this is so much bigger than you, bigger than me, bigger than anything. There's so much that you could be researching and finding out about. I mean, we're still learning every day, and we've been doing this for almost a year now. We have so much that it sometimes can get stressful if you look into it too much. But if you can look into it with an open mind and look into all this that's going on with an open mind, it makes it a little bit easier. I mean, yeah, there's going to be times where we'll sit there and we'll find out information and it really distraughts us for a while. I mean, we get really down about certain things. I mean, for me, my thing is the food. There is so many information that we have found out about the food with the GMOs, the non-GMOs, it is a lot. And for a while there, it was really eating at me. I was constantly down. I was constantly upset. I was constantly worried about what I was putting into my mouth because of everything that was said or portrayed about it. And when we had found out one day we had sat down for dinner. I'll just tell the story. That's what I'll do. Girl, you keep it up. We, the American people, just need the truth. The people in charge of this country want us kept in the dark to serve their own agenda. Yes, Billy, I agree. Thank you so much for the comment. We sat down for dinner one day, and we were like, we'll have a glass of vanilla milk, because we thought it sounded good, and we were going to try it. Turns out this was amazing. We loved it, and we were like, there's got to be some agenda here. There's got to be something wrong with it. So we checked. All we did was look to see how many calories were in it, because there was no way that milk would be that good and not have a lot of calories. Well, as we were looking, we come across, and it says, bioengineered food ingredient. Well, more so it said, may contain a bioengineered food ingredient. And when we had read that, we were like, what the heck is a bioengineered ingredient? Why is this in our foods? What even is it? So we did our research, we look it up, we find out, and we hear that it's not plant-based, not animal-based, and that it's made in a laboratory. Your foods, 60% of our foods, was made in a laboratory. What chemicals? We don't know. What are they putting in it? Who knows? They don't say. They just say, made in a laboratory. And it's like, are you kidding me? It's like, these things are going into our bodies. What if they, like, who knows what is in that? And when we have done this research on what they're doing with the foods and what they're doing, it'll really mess with your mind, especially if you're looking into it really deeply, because it got to a point where I was scanning everything. I was scanning things. I was looking at the items, mentioning scanning. Be aware, it doesn't only just say on the box contains a bioengineered ingredient. It will also have a smart label. So, for those of you that do not know, a smart label is a little code that they will put on a box, a carton, a whatever it is, and you take your phone camera and you just hold it over top of it, and it will send you to a link. 9 times out of 10, that link will either tell you what the ingredients are, which sometimes you're lucky and that's what it does, or B, it will tell you that it's non-GMO, which is good, or C, they will tell you that it's bioengineered. And you do not want to eat that stuff. When you do your research, you find out that not only does that stuff mess with your body terribly, it makes your body autoimmune. So if you get sick, you won't be able to fight it. Your body cannot fight what any sickness is that is in your body. So then it also will make it where you are antibiotic resistant. So once you take that medicine to make yourself feel better, take those antibiotics because you're not feeling well, it won't work. Won't do a thing. You will be stuck being sick because it will not do nothing about it. But then, here's the kicker as well, which this part is what bothered me. It causes cancer. So, it's like, there's so many foods that are getting put in our body that intentionally is causing cancer. It's like, why are we letting this happen? Why are we not fighting back? Why are we not doing things to stand up as American people and doing what is right for us? Why are we not fighting back? And that's what we need to be doing. We need to be fighting back so hard and pushing against all that is going on, because it is not okay. It's not. And for us to be sitting around and not fighting because some people, and I will say a story behind that. There are multiple people that will come up to us and say, well, there's not much you can do about it. We've went through it this long. It's like, who cares if we went through it since 25 years ago? We can make a difference. We can change what was happening. It's like, why do we have to keep living the life and rerun like a rerun movie? It's like watching a movie over and over and over again, and you never leave the movie. It's like, you can't be doing that. We need to make a change. And yeah, I'm the one person bit. Yeah, I'm one person too. We're all one person, but if one person times one person times one person does something, it will add up. We will all be able to do something. One person will reach many people. It doesn't take 10, 20, 40, 70. It doesn't take 2,000 people to reach anybody. It takes one person. So for the people who believe that they won't be able to do something, you can. And to sit and say, well, we went through it, we might as well just put up with it some more. No. Putting up with it is not the answer. The answer is fighting back. Get a hold of your counselors, get a hold of your representatives, get a hold of the school boards, because trust me, the schools are getting crazy too. It's not just everything else. It is the schools. It is in the schools, the students, the children. Your guys' children are being taught things that they should not be taught at a young age. And for the parents out there who love their children, love their grandchildren, this would be something to hear too. Did you guys know that in the school they are teaching your kids about what sexual intercourse is at 10 years old? That is not okay. At 10 years old, you should be out playing with your friends, out going to the park, out running around playing in the dirt, doing things like that, not knowing what body parts are and what to do. You shouldn't. And they're teaching them about genderisms and why it's okay to be a woman and not if you're a man, and a man if you're a woman. This stuff, it is not normal. I mean, there are literally places where they're putting litter boxes in because kids think they're cats or kids think they're dogs. And I get it. People have weird opinions. But if people are taught right, they won't have these opinions. And they're being taught that it's okay. And it's not. And it would not be that hard to go to your school representatives, go to the school meetings, school board meetings, and say, we don't agree with this. We want change. And you are allowed to sit in your school board meetings. You're allowed to sit at the township meetings. You're allowed to sit at your city meetings. You're allowed to sit at all of those events.
Even the state level.
Even the state level events you can sit on. You, as a person, even the big ones you're allowed to go to. You're allowed to go to your Capitol buildings and say all the information that you have and say, this is what I want changed. I want to make a ballot for this, and we are going to change it. And if you get enough people in on it too, you can do that as well. Just say, here's what I want to do a petition on. Get a bunch of people to sign it and say, we all agree. If enough people fight all these things that are happening, we can make a huge difference in this world that has gone so corrupt. Did you guys know that human trafficking and drug overdose has been the worst in years? Just this past year alone, the past 5 years alone, because they are adding drugs to things. They are making fentanyl in pretty much everything. They're putting it in vapes. They're putting it in, and it's crazy. If you buy a vape from a store, usually 9 times out of 10, you're okay. But a lot of people have been buying vapes on the side. And when you do that, they can switch out what is in those pens. And 9 times out of 10, it's drugs. Kids are getting overdosed from it. Adults are getting overdosed from it. And all these people are getting overdosed from it. And then goes into the other thing I was talking about, trafficking. That is so bad this past couple years that it's nowhere near what it used to be. You used to be able to walk around the streets and everybody knew each other and all the kids could run out and play and they never had to worry about if somebody's going to grab them and run or not. Now, it's like you constantly have to worry about where your kids are going, what they're doing, and I would be cautious, you guys. I would, because you don't know, maybe that person down the road from where you live could be after children or a human trafficker. You, as Americans, all need to be careful. Even in other countries, all need to be very careful about that because it is very real. There are so many people that are getting hurt. And for those of you that don't know, because I know we have a bunch of Ohio people on here too. Ohio is the biggest, the largest human trafficking area in the world. So be very careful with what you do and how you go about things. Don't be so cautious that you don't want to leave your house or don't want to do things, but also be skeptical. I mean, if you have to, carry things to help you. Keep yourself safe. Because it is real. It all is so very real. And we are hoping that us reaching out and us doing it one by one, we can inspire you guys to make changes, to try to make this world a better place. And yeah, this world is never going to be truly better. The world is never going to be truly what it needs to be. But we can always try to make it a little bit better than what it is now. And we hope that our page can bring awareness. And we gotta keep reminding everyone, governmental, around the freaking world, that they work for us, not for anyone else. They work for us. So if we want changes, we tell them. We tell them right there, hand and foot, we want something different. We don't want what you guys are out there doing, and we don't want what is happening to be happening anymore, any longer. And it is okay to keep fighting even when you don't feel like it. And because there's days we don't want to fight it. There's days we want to give up. We want to... Sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
There are days where we just want to give up. We just want to stop fighting. But the thing is, if you don't give up, then it's worth it in the end, because you can say you kept fighting. You kept going at it. You didn't just stop. And truth is, if we would have threw the towel and said we give up, we probably wouldn't be here doing a live today. And I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys and telling you about our story. And as we whenever we get weak, we depend on the other to make us strong. And that's how it should work. We should all be able to not be like, okay, so as one person, we are all going to be weak. But if we can all come together as one and build something bigger, we can be strong, and we can be an army, and we can keep fighting this fight. Yeah, there's gonna be days that it's gonna really knock you down, and it's really gonna get rough. But don't let it cave in. Don't let it give in. Keep going. Because it's better to keep going than to worry about what's happening anywhere else. And we're hoping that by sharing this awareness, it will inspire you guys to keep doing what you're doing. Keep going out and doing things. And for the people that don't want to go out and do things, you should. I know some days people will be like, you know what, it's not worth it. We've done this for so long. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep sitting down and sitting on our butts and doing nothing. This is so important for our children and our grandchildren's future. And if we want our kids and grandchildren's in the future, which I don't have any kids yet, but I know one day I will. And when I do, I don't want them to be in the world that it is now. I really don't. And if this world keeps going the rate it's going, would anybody want their kids in that? No. So I say, let's keep doing this for them. Not for you, not for Joe Schmo. Do it for the future of the children, the future of your grandchildren, the future of the next generations to come, because they are what this is about. It's not about anybody else but them, because they are our future. They are where we're headed. And if this goes down in history, we want to at least have it go down as something that we were fighting for. And if anybody just wants to ask questions or give out some live ideas, things we can talk about, things that you guys are curious about, we will be more than happy to do a live on them, or even answer your questions now. I know it's kind of been a little bit longer of a video, but it is a live, and I wanted to inform you guys about who we are, why we're doing what we're doing, and what this is all about. So if you guys have any information, send it on over. We will share it. We will talk about it. We will retain and learn the information. If we have information, we will share it with you guys. Every time we find out any information, anytime we find anything, we send it out to you guys, because it is important that you know what is happening out there too. Very important. So I have time now, so if anybody has any questions, any comments, any concerns, any information they want to put out there, the comments are open. You can leave your comments, leave your concerns, whatever you would like. If not, I might cut the video soon, just because I think I've pretty much covered a lot of things that we have been trying to get to and try to reach out. But even if the video's over, you guys can always comment, and we will give our comments back. And if you guys have any information that you want to message us, private message us, send it on out. We will be glad to share it and hear about it. We would like to get any advice on what you guys suggest we talk about, what we do more lives about, what we do in our inspiration on, because for us to inspire you guys, we would like to have input to be able to do so, because our whole goal is just to inspire people. And even if it's just one person we inspire, at least we did something right. So thank you guys for watching and listening, and we will be back at it next Sunday. Every Sunday I want to do it at 7 p.m. And if you, like I said, have any ideas on what we could do lives about, this one was just kind of an introduction. This one's kind of like an introduction and who we are and why we're doing what we're doing. So when the next lives come, you at least know who we are and what we're about. Stay tuned. We do have a bunch of pictures that we will be putting up from all the events that I've talked about, from the Topeka, Kansas trip, from the Hagerstown trip, from the Ohio Rally in Burbank. Like, we have all these different events that we had went to, and we are still going to different events, and we're going to be posting more and more each day, so keep an eye out. And any information that you might not know about, our page will definitely have it. And if you guys have any more information that you guys have heard about, share it with us, and we will send it out for others to see. Be ready. We have the video from the lady that we did an interview with today, and it's a good one. So if you have kids and grandkids, definitely check it out. Or if you know people with addictions or problems, it'll help you out. And after you watch the video, leave your comments, concerns. Just even on any post we have, leave your comments and concerns. And you don't have to be anywhere but your own home. You don't have to be out and about going to DC, going to all these events. You don't have to. You can do it right from your own home. You can make phone calls. You can give advice. You can tell your neighbor about what's happening out there, because who knows? They might not know. And once you reach that person, they might get excited to know what's going on too, and they might say, okay, I'll tell this person. And they'll tell their neighbor. Well, guess what? They'll tell their work buddies, they'll tell the school, they'll tell their friends, and it'll just keep going on and on. And we just love to give our information out and to talk with you guys and get to be able to learn new things. We had an event that we did not get to go to because we had work. So the day they had it was on a Saturday, and we worked that day. But on a Sunday, we had off, so it worked out. So what we did is we went over to the Peace Bridge, and we did a bunch of photos just to basically put our hands up and say, hey, we showed up, we came, we are here. We may not have came when they did, but we at least showed our support. Just because an event is happening one day that you're too busy doesn't mean you can't at least show your support in another way, like we did. There are so many cool experiences that we have been through, so many people we've talked to, so many ideas, and so much information that we have gotten, that it is just almost too much to even fathom. When we went to the Harriet Tubman Museum, we had went to a trip in Niagara Falls, and we had went to the Harriet Tubman Museum, and there was a lady that had came by, and she said, so why are you guys taking pictures? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, do you have a project you're working on? And I was like, you can say something like that. And I was honest with her, and I was just like, we have so many freedoms that we have lost. and we just want to gain our freedoms back, and we're gonna do it and fight it one day at a time. And she just smiled, and she had said, she thanked us and said that that was amazing, and she said that you put it well. Like, she said it was well said, and it was so amazing because you could see that it genuinely, like, you can see when you looked in her eyes that it was, like, genuine, that somebody appreciated what we were doing. And it made it so much more worth it. It's like, we want to keep fighting now. We want to keep doing what we're doing. And that one event made it all worth it. And even if we only reached that one lady, or we reached 2 people, at least we reached someone, and that's all that matters. So thank you guys for watching, and we do appreciate you guys. And if you guys keep checking out our page, we're going to be posting a lot of videos, a lot of pictures, a lot of information. And even in the comments of our videos and pictures, maybe you could just say what you want to see more of, and we will start posting more of that. And I hope you guys have an amazing night or day, wherever you are. And we will catch you on the flip. Just kidding. We will see you next time. And we will, I'll do videos throughout the week still. And I will catch you next Sunday for the live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time again. You guys take care, all right? We love you all. God bless. Bye.